Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing an early game night build for Skyrim, yet again. So it's just going to be an early game build for newer players, more or less. If you can probably still learn a few things though, if you are a returning player to Skyrim. But yeah, let's get started. So first up, the race you're going to pick is probably, it doesn't really matter to be honest. With Skyrim you can basically pick any race and do good. But I'm going to be picking an Orc today. If you wanted to lead it into a more tanky direction, you can be a Breton, and that would be a good option because they have good magic resistance, which not many other races have benefits as good as that. Otherwise, a Redguard could be a good choice if you want to skip some of the grinding when it comes to your sword and your shield stats, blocking. Yeah, so you guys want to go through the tutorial pretty early on, and then you're going to want to side with Hadvar in the tutorial. It's not required, but it will help because you'll be able to get some free iron and steel ingots later on, which is super useful. And yeah, as you're running through the tutorial cave, you're going to want to beat up Hadvar as you're running through it, as that will just give you some free XP, which is always nice. And yeah, so you should finish the intro pretty quickly, and then we're going to be focusing on heavy armor and sword and shield for this build. There should be some bandits nearby after you exit the cave that you can take out. And then after you do that, you're going to stop by the Guardian Stones and pick up the Warrior Stone buff, as that will help us level up faster in all of our warrior skills. And then after that, we should stop by Endershard Mine, and there should be some bandits there that you can take out as we run through it, and maybe a Clairvoyant spell, which can be super useful later on. And as we're taking out those bandits, you want to keep an eye out for heavy armor, a one-handed sword, and a good shield. When you go into your skills and start dedicating skill points, you're going to want to dedicate your skills to blocking, one-handed, and heavy armor. At the beginning, it doesn't really matter what you dedicate to, and you'll be able to get them all eventually, so just do put them into whatever you're using at the time. But don't sleep on the heavy armor skill tree, because it is very good, and you can become very tanky. After you're done with Embershard Mine, you're going to want to go to Riverwood, and take some iron and steel ingots, and start farming up your smithing. You will have to steal them if you didn't end up going with Hadvar, but either way it should be fine. And I will add, even if you go with Hadvar, you can still join the Stormclicks later on, so it doesn't really affect your choice at all. But after you're done with that, you're going to want to leave Riverwood, and then go straight to Bleak Falls Barrows and grab the Dragonstone at the end of that dungeon, just so you can progress the main quest a bit faster and skip a bunch of that stuff, instead of having to go all the way to Whiterun and then go back there. And as you're doing this, you want to continue to level up your crafting skills and upgrading your gear as you're going back to Whiterun, doing all that stuff. So just get all that done as you're going, and don't leave it till later so you have to do it all at once. I'm going to recommend joining the companions pretty early on, as throughout the quest line you'll get a chance of Silver Sword and Skyforged Steel Sword pretty early on, which are great for early game, and I highly recommend running them. Silver Sword especially is very slept on, as you can use it to do extra damage to undead enemies, which are a lot of the enemies in this game, to be honest. But yeah, so now I'm going to give you a quick few other tips. Uthgerd the Unbroken, you can challenge her to a fist fight in the local inn, and she will be your follower. If you don't mind, if you're not very chivalrous, you can make her die, unfortunately, and you can take a full set of steel plate gear from her, of armor, and that will be a nice little skip to getting some better gear early on, which is super useful. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to, it's fine. She just makes a great follower if you don't want to kill her. But yeah, it's a good way to get some free gear. And yeah, some other later game stuff you can get that you won't be getting early on, but more for the later game here, is the Targe of the Blooded, which is a really cool shield that looks awesome and has an awesome model. But also, you can bash enemies with it and you will apply bleed damage to them, which is super useful and just a cool little unique shield, to be honest. No other shields that look like it. Some other really cool shields to look onto are the Ethereal Shield, Shield of Ysgrimmar, and Oreo Shield and Spellbreaker, as they're just all very good in their own ways and will fit the Knight archetype. As for swords, I still recommend the Silver Sword, as you can upgrade it with a high smithing skill and make it basically competitive later on, as you can with most swords in this game, to be honest, with a high smithing skill, which I think is kind of cool in its own way. Or also looking out for the Churend is really good. These aren't the most optimal swords by any means, but I just think they're cool and kind of fit the theme. Churend especially has a nice ice theme going to it, so you can make your character have like an Ice Knight kind of theme, which is, I think, cool at least. And yeah, but yeah, if you want to get some higher damage stuff, there's always stuff you'll find as you're playing the game that you can focus on. That's probably going to be mostly it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and as usual, I appreciate it. So these videos here are just kind of quick early game builds, just to, if you haven't played the game before and you're just looking for something, and you can recommend this to people that haven't played the game before too. If you guys want any other kind of videos on the channel, you can just tell me. I'm currently making some videos where like hidden secret rings in the game and stuff like that. Some more unique videos. These are kind of difficult to make due to the recording process for me at least. But if people want to see more of them, then I'm down to make more definitely. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thanks for watching and peace out. Bye.